coming up on At Your Leisure.
Hi, I'm Chad Booth.
And I'm Ria Rossi Booth. And if you think you know Ticaboo, you're going to want to watch this show.
I'm Reece Stein, At Your Leisure, at tiny Mill Hollow Reservoir, where the wildlife folks are checking up on the quality of the fish. And look at this guy.
I'm Stephen Aldridge, and we're installing a Premier Power Welder in an 88 Grand Wagoneer.
You know, for the last 22 years, we've been running around the West trying to find new and exciting things about the outdoors to show you. And guess what? We've done it again.
We certainly have.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Chad Booth.
I'm Ria Rossi Booth, and we're out here at Ticaboo Lodge in North Lake Powell. And this place is a gem. It is so cool out here.
Yeah, and there's things that we're going to tell you about what's on the drawing board for the future here that is going to significantly change the amount of options and fun you have at Ticaboo. This place is going to explode.
And this is one of the changes already.
This is true. They have introduced tiny homes, but we're also going to head to the lake today. And so why don't you go grab the car? Come on, folks, I'm going to show you around here.
I love living in Ticaboo. I think the only challenging thing is being probably about 2.5 hours from our closest grocery store. But once you learn how to get used to it, it's really not that big of an issue.
But it's still, you know, it's never a boring ride. You know, no matter whether you're taking 70 or you're taking the back roads on 95 or you're taking the Route 24 up through Capitol Reef. I mean, we're surrounded by some of the most beautiful landscapes in the country. It actually doubles as the reward for living out here. You know, you're constantly surrounded by beauty no matter where you go, and it's generally unscathed. You know, it's basically how it's been for thousands of years. Besides, obviously, Lake Powell, there's plenty of things to do out here. You just got to go out and find them. You know, if you're into rock hounding, there's some of the most gorgeous petrified woods and agates I've ever seen. Really just right in the backyard. And there's not many trails, you know, there's really not many established trails in these mountains. Mount Ellen has one right up to the summit, but the rest of them you got to do some route finding, so you never know what you're going to find as you're hiking out there. As well as hiking in the lake, you've got UTV riding, canyoneering.
I definitely enjoy canyoneering a lot. I like it because it pushes you enough to feel very accomplished once you're done with it, even if you aren't the strongest person, which I think is always really fun to bring new people out here whenever we have friends or family visit, take them out, show them what it's about. And you get to see some really beautiful stuff down in the slots too. Definitely enjoy that a lot. I bounce this between that and UTV riding. Definitely love exploring the Henrys too.
So this year we're hosting our 6th annual rally in Bullfrog Valley. That's held the first weekend in November every year. This year the rides are going to be the 1st and 2nd of November. It's really a casual rally. We host it as an introduction to the area. A lot of people, they come out here whether they know there's trails out here or never had any clue that there's trails out here. It's a good way to come out and learn the area, learn the trails, kind of get a lay of the land with a guide and get a little bit of background history on the geological formations, some of the mining history as well that Ticaboo is founded on.
I think my favorite thing about living out here is knowing every single one of my neighbors and living in a small town in such a beautiful place.
Pretty much it's all up to the imagination. If you could think of it, you could probably do it out here.
One thing that Lake Powell is doing that's unique is that they are providing an opportunity for people not only to come rent here, but they can invest and buy property here and use it as their recreational home base. And then if they want, they can put it in the rental pool to help offset the cost. But these are gorgeous and nice mattress. I might take a nap. Anyway, these are available now, and I would imagine that they do equip them with blackout curtains so that the sun of summer doesn't cook the inside or you, and so you can pull those down in the day while you're out playing, and when you come back, you've got a comfortable unit. They have heat and AC on them. They're turnkey ready to go. Okay, well let's go find Ria. We got to get going. All right, the chariot has arrived. We are on our way down to the lake to meet Captain Ray. And I haven't told him yet, but I'm so excited about some of the things I'm hearing about future development here. I think I'm gonna send you guys out on the lake and I'm gonna go exploring. See you in a minute.
Kind of gross now. Cut him open.
That's like stupid.
See how big that thing is?
Oh,
You want to catch that, don't you?
I'm Reece Stein at your leisure at tiny Mill Hollow Reservoir, where the wildlife folks are checking up on the quality of the fish. And look at this guy. The wildlife folks are giving Mill Hollow Reservoir a checkup. They set fine mesh nets in the lake overnight, and this morning they're hauling in their catch. And every so often they strike it rich. Then the work really begins, untangling the dead fish from the mesh. The young fishermen at the lake got a thrill holding the monster.
You know what kind it is? That was a fish called a tiger trout. Yep. Yeah.
Tiger trout are a frankenfish built in the hatchery, a cross between a male brown and female brook trout. They are sterile so their numbers can be controlled. They're interested only in eating and can grow quickly and are fairly easy to catch.
Tiger was a real bonus.
Yeah, that's the biggest fish we've ever got out of here.
Yes.
The fish are then measured and weighed, then opened up to see what they've been eating. Mostly ants. Although this guy apparently enjoyed green power bait. Many of the fish don't go to waste. Local anglers are more than happy to take a limit home. Fishing is rated good at this small pond on the western edge of the Uintas. Best times are sunrise and late afternoons and evenings. Boats are allowed here.
I do. I like coming here. This is a place I come and I bring my friends with kids because you can always catch fish here. And a lot of times they've never really caught a fish before, so it's fun to watch the excitement on their faces when they catch a fish.
At Mill Hollow, the scenery and solitude are worth the trip.
it's beautiful. I didn't catch a single fish, and I don't even care. I'm just glad to get up here. I come up here probably at least a few times a year.
Reece Stein at your leisure along the way at Mill Hollow Reservoir.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. We are obviously on the beautiful North Lake Powell. We're sitting here with Ray Golden, who's the GM of Ticaboo Lodge, and if you've never been there, you gotta go. Thank you for inviting us out here.
Thank you all for being here.
This is fantastic. You know, you come out here and if you don't recreate here a lot, you just go to your lodge and you're like, okay, here's the boat, here's the ATVs, here's the hiking trail. Everything's like at your disposal. And thank goodness you guys know what you're doing and you just point us in the right direction. What's it like trying to manage a lodge in the middle of literally nowhere? Beautiful.
Well, yeah, the first thing you need to do is give up all thoughts that things are going to run fluidly every day, because it doesn't. Every day you wake up, it's something new, something different, and that's what you get in a remote location. And to provide that type of amenity for the people who recreate here in the state of Utah, which is, as you know, a great recreational state, you really have to have every component come together. And then you're still juggling, like your staffing and your expenses and stuff like that. It's a challenge. It's a very big challenge.
And in the summertime, I cannot even imagine what you guys spend just like energy-wise, like air conditioning and just how do you pull that? Where do you get that from? How do you manage that? That just blows my mind.
Yeah, well, so we are one of the few districts in the 3-state area that still runs on diesel power. And as you know, diesel is pretty expensive right now, so it's a big challenge for us. The revenue that we create in a year at our lodge, it's about 50 to 55% of it's eaten up through utilities alone.
Whoa, that blows my mind.
Yeah.
So how do you? Is there another way to do this where it's not as expensive? Like, is there other options?
Well, renewable energy is the course, and we're desperately going in that direction, or trying to anyway. Our district has applied for grants from the Department of Energy,
and a pretty sizable grant that could come in here and replace everything. And that presents its challenges too, because there's only so much money that they have to help out communities like ours. But we were able to garner the support of Senator Mike Lee, Senator Mitt Romney, Congress Lady Celeste Malloy, and then some of our state reps, such as Phil Lyman and Carl Albright, and our Governor Spencer Cox. They're all supportive of us obtaining this grant.
It's got to start sometime and somewhere, and you're the right person to get moving because you are a mover and a shaker.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you and Amy both. Really, you grab stuff and you make it go, and I hope it works because this is such a beautiful area and so many people want to experience it.
It is, and if we can get it, that's really great, but it's not just great for our business, but the residents of Ticaboo, and hopefully it creates the development that we really need to be a sustainable city.
And the jobs are going to go whoop.
Correct.
Lots of jobs.
Yes.
Wonderful. Welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. You know, when people come down that massive hill and they see the lovely Ticaboo Lodge on the right there on the side, they think that's it. That's just that there's not much left. But,
little recreational oasis. But no, indeed. Actually,
right.
In the 70s, 80s in particular, and into the early 90s, there was an active uranium mine. And Ticaboo is actually a significant town here. They have, and you can see the remnants of it. With mobile home sites and regular built houses on it. They had an auto repair shop, a machinery shop. They had a grocery store, gas station, all this stuff. It was really quite a great community and a really nice place for people to come recreate, except nobody thought about it then. And of course they had a school, and this is it. And as a matter of fact, I came down here when I worked for Fox in 1992 and did a story on this school, which is now a church, because it was the only one-room schoolhouse in the country at that time.
Wow, from what grades?
I think it was 1 through 8.
My goodness.
Maybe 9. Anyway, no, the 9th graders went to high school. So they divided, it was just one room at that time, and they put the 1 through 4s on this side and the 5 through 8s on the other side, and they just taught them all day. It seemed to work.
It's a fascinating little town.
It is. Well, it is definitely on site to become a resort town again, and you could be a part of it. But there's one more secret thing that we got to tell you about, and we're going to hold on for that for a minute. Right now, it's time to go to our next story.
There's nothing quite like going off-road. But as our old friend Murphy would say, if it can go wrong, it will. And sometimes you might find yourself wishing you had brought a welder.
I'm Phil Rawlings with At Your Leisure, and today we are here because the alternator burned up in my Wagoneer. What do we do when we break stuff? Upgrades! So we're going to put a Premier Power Welder system on my 1988 Jeep Grand Wagoneer, and we're here at my brother's shop. This is Taylor with Taylor, I always mess that up, Tailor-Made Custom Exhaust. And he's going to tell us a little bit about why this system is cool.
So this is a Premier Power Welder. It utilizes a 180 amp alternator. Performs exactly like an alternator does, except it gives you the ability to perform trail repairs when you're out on the trail. Real men don't read the directions. Is that what it says?
Installing the Premier Power Welder boiled down to 4 major steps.
Just on the back side, the back bracket. Or bracket.
Yeah. So caught on there. Sweet.
Like a bed. That bracket distance might be more critical. All right, so the alternator is installed. That honestly might be the easy part of the job though.
I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
Because of other upgrades including fuel injection, the more powerful alternator will be a welcome addition. Taylor and Phil used the included paper template to drill a few holes in the metal of the wheel well, and they were ready to attach the welder.
There you go. Just like AMC designed it.
My vehicle, I have a bus bar here for the battery, and my battery is actually in the trunk. So we've got the electrical buttoned up here. Next, we're going to be installing the throttle control so that you can idle it up as you're welding because you need to get some power out of the alternator.
Here, Taylor and Phil need to find a place to mount the throttle control. The cable can be trimmed to the length the user needs and connected to the engine's throttle. With a few modifications, Phil and Taylor got the job done.
Here we go, cranking. We got it running, everything looks good. Should we try out some welding with this thing?
Yeah.
So we've got the cables plugged in. This switch puts the load to the circuit. This switch should only be turned on or off when the vehicle is idling. If you do it above idle, it's going to damage the circuit in there.
Ready?
What did you think, Tay?
I think I'm going to stick to MIG welding. So I was really impressed with the Premier Power Welder. The installation was super easy. Lacing the wiring up wasn't a problem. We made a couple of revisions to the rig as we went. So just a great piece of equipment right out of the box to install. Using it was awesome. I was really impressed with the arc and everything, even though we had this AC electrode. And it's 1/8 inch.
Yeah, we got this sort of last minute because we were slightly unprepared.
Yep, I definitely want to put one of these in my rig too. These things are sweet.
So I'm very happy with this system. It welds nice, the alternator is awesome. We're putting out a lot of power, a lot of juice for this. I'm no longer worried about being able to supply the power that I want for any accessory. This is going to be fantastic. We're super excited about it.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time right here on At Your Leisure.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. Remember when I said, hey, stick around because we got something special? Well, here it is. We're standing on this incredible road that we're looking out into the uranium mine.
Yeah, Ticaboo was actually built on the uranium business. It had nothing to do with Lake Powell. And as uranium prospered and there was a really good market for it, then the town grew, and it was a good, prosperous town. What it brought with it, though, is people living here. Now, these mines have been sitting unused for a number of years, and that's why the town of Ticaboo shrunk from a good-sized little community down to just a resort town. And it's been a struggle. And so here's the deal. Uranium is picking back up, which means they're going to have to build facilities. They're going to have to expand the operation. They're probably even going to have to add to the town or even put in a new subdivision towards the mine.
Yeah.
In the process of doing all that, that means there are more people here. And for recreationists, a diverse community makes for a better experience because that means you have twice as many people to use the grocery stores, or the grocery store is better.
Right.
There are twice as many people going out to dinner.
Yeah.
So you have better restaurant options. It just works out. Resort communities by themselves are really expensive and usually disappointing.
Yeah, like Amagiri
Well,
out
that's
there
not
in King County.
disappointing, but
No, what I'm saying is that's like $4 or $5 grand a night.
Yeah.
You come out here in this little beautiful resort, you spend a couple $100 and the whole community is just like all wrapped up, and you do feel like you're in a community. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
Great
besides,
people.
with uranium just down the road a few miles, who knows, the electricity might become real cheap.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, let's hope so. That'd be awesome.
Anyway, let's take a look at next week's show. Next week, we're joining Skylar and Heather Dykstra on another great trail in Colorado, but this time, they're venturing up the San Juan Mountains as they traverse Imogene Pass. Then, Will Oxley is headed in the opposite direction. He's taking a trail back in time to take a look at the classic machines at the Idaho Vintage Jeep Rally. Finally, Nick Chase is showing off all the best-kept secrets of a great getaway that includes camping, fishing, cliff diving, and plenty of water sports as he takes us to the Causey Reservoir. Now, let's take a look at our contest winner. This week's contest winner was spotted recently while out on the trails and is a license plate number 1DM03, and it looks like they are the lucky winner of a Clearly Tough windshield for their rig. Clearly Tough offers the strongest windshields on the market. Visit clearlytough.com for more information, and be sure to call us on Monday at 801-947-8888 to claim your prize. Now, let's take a look at our calendar of events. First up, September 14th, our journey takes us back to the annual event at Torrey, Utah, as we keep the September 11th Memorial Ride alive. Every year, we team up with the folks at Stedman's for the Ride to Remember, the Red, White, and Road of 2024. You'll be treated to gourmet hamburger dinners from Eat a Burger. Oh, it's the best stuff in the world. Then, September 19th and 20th is the Manti Mountain Fall Run, which is a great way to get your machine out on the famous Arapeen Trail System. Visit MantiATVRun.com for more information. And don't forget to visit our events page at AYLTV.com to stay up to date on all the great jamborees and off-road and outdoor events that happen throughout the year.
Wow, we're going to have fun next week on the show.
We are.
Yeah.
Can't wait for it. Thank you so much for joining us on these adventures. We sure learned a lot today about diverse communities, and hope you take that to heart and keep it in mind when you're out recreating in rural Utah.
That's right. It's good for you, and it's good for the communities.
Exactly.
All right. So remember, there's adventure around every bend.
You just got to get out there and find your own adventure
at your leisure. See you next time.
We have the whole day left, Ria. Are there roads that we passed I think we should explore?
You need a sun hat.
If there's one in the car.
All right, let's go.